Hi everybody, my name is Martin Hill. Well, I've waited a couple of days to comment on this UKIP, Mark Reckless defection from the Conservative Party going over to UKIP. I just wanted things to settle down for a couple of days, see how the Conservatives were going to handle it. And I have to say, I think they've handled it terribly. Instead of just accepting that Mark Reckless is a human being, one human being on the planet, he might have been with the Tory party, but he has the right as a human being to decide who he wants to be with, which party he wants to be with. And his heart followed into UKIP. And then I heard Grant Shapps trying to destroy him, as if to say, oh, what an evil person, how dare he, you can't trust him, he's a liar. He couldn't be with you anymore, Mr. Shapps. And after your speech yesterday, your nasty little speech, I'm not surprised. And I would say to Grant Shapps, if he keeps speaking in that tone, he's going to be one of the biggest recruiting officers that UKIP has got, because that is the very tone, using the very words and the kind of menace and nastiness underneath. That is why UKIP are gaining votes. So, as a UKIP supporter, keep going, Mr. Shapps. Show that nasty side, show that menace, and UKIP will keep growing. And I'm sure there's another 4 or 5 Conservative MPs that are going to hop over to UKIP quite quickly. I'm delighted that Carswell's with UKIP. I'm delighted that Mark Reckless is with UKIP. They seem like decent human beings, decent people. Progressive which is what the UKIP are. They're a progressive party, a party for the people, the people's army. When you hear Miliband speak, when you hear Grant Shapps, when you hear Cameron, when you hear George Osborne speak today, it's all sound bites, it's all generalisations. It's the stuff we've heard for the last 15, 20 years. Nobody believes it anymore. It's nonsense. And then we had George Osborne today wanting the poor to help the country get out of the dire straits we're in economically. So it's the job of people that are already in dire straits, people with no job, and people that are really struggling on the breadline, and people with a job but not earning that much money and having to get a top up with tax credits, housing benefits, etc. They are the people who are going to get affected by this zero rise in benefits for the next few years. So the poor people of this country are going to have to try and get this country back on its feet. It's their job, it's the poor's job to get this country running again. You know it, poor people out there, you knew this. You knew it should be your job to cut the deficits of this country. It's not the job of people with loads of money. It's not the guy in the council house, in the council offices that gets paid $220,000 a year as council leader of various councils around England. It's not his job. No, it's the guy on 7,000. It's the guy on 2,000 a year. It's the guy that doesn't get anything because he ain't got a job. It's your job, poor people. It's your job. Listen to me. To cut the deficit in England.